Welcome, Kyle. Thank you so much for taking the time to come on the show.
Oh, thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
I think this kind of is the peak of this podcast, and I think I'll probably end it after this episode because you're definitely one of my idols and someone I look up to, and a voice that I freaking love.
Thank you,
So
man.
I had to start off with that. And you were just saying before the podcast, you've got a podcast, yes? Just for everyone listening, what's it called?
I have a solo geek news slash comedy podcast called The Intergalactic Boombox at Boombox Pod on Twitter or boomboxpod.com. And it's on all platforms. And I basically do geek news reviews. I talk about some voice acting related things. And I also interact with and have comedy skits, as if you will, with aliens, a conspiracy theorist, a Karen, someone who calls in and complains all the time, and um, a true crime investigator who doesn't really have his own podcast but likes to think he does. And yeah, I just fart around for about 15 minutes a week, and it's heavily produced, so it sounds layered. It's got sound effects and little quirky music cues. Sometimes it's just me a cappella layered doing the a cappella symphony orchestra doing, funky little blurbs of songs and whatnot.
Cool. Okay. No, that's incredible. That's really exciting. I'm excited to listen to it. And and um
Awesome.
and listening to your improv would be cool as well. So you're a singer, yeah? You've got a voice as well.
No, not a singer. More of a drummer. I guess most of my adult life I've been living in an apartment. So I used to play drums in high school, and living at home in my parents' house, we had, I'd play drums while they were at work and then quiet at night. And then living in an apartment, you can't just bang on drums all day. That's a noise complaint right there. You're going to get evicted. But one of these days, I'll probably pony up for like a nice electronic set and put the headphones on and just go to town on some pads.
True. Yeah, that's the way to go if you've got neighbors. That's for sure. Okay, cool. Cool. I'm a guitarist, so maybe we could start a band. I don't know. We'll talk about it.
There we go. We've
Yeah.
proven ever since the pandemic that bands can do concerts, they can be together on streaming, and then voice acting gigs can be done from around the world.
Mhm.
As long as you got the right setup and all that, you're locked in with the right apps, and you can record, dub anime, do video game sessions, cartoons, commercials, the whole gamut.
Well, I'm sure my wife will be okay if I say, listen, I'm going for 6 months to stay on Carl Herbert's couch. That might be an option as well. So I'll just take that as an invitation from you, Carl. All right.
Oh, is that how that works? Oh, okay.
If it's a big enough couch, I'm 6'3", 3.
I am exactly the same height.
Oh,
Absolutely.
really?
We have tall guy problems. You sit on a plane, if you don't have an exit row or a first class seat, you'd be like, "Mm."
It is so hard. It is so
Yeah,
challenging, and no one understands. So I'm glad
yeah.
I don't think I've spoken to someone on the podcast that is the same height as me. So
Ah.
that's great. I make sure beforehand to get them to fill out a sheet, height, weight, eye color, and stuff like that, just for legal purposes. Did you got that, eh?
There we go. I'm tall, I'm follically challenged. What can you do?
I am too. Don't worry. I am too. I'm so annoyed. That's why I'm growing a mustache because I'm like, only 30 years old, and right here and here it's getting thin, and it's kind of annoying. So I need some hair on my face, and that's why actually a lot of the people I've spoken to, Phil Parsons, Chris. I haven't spoken to Chris yet, but they all got this beautiful goatee like you have.
Well, thank you. Yeah, and I've noticed if I ever shave it, my wife will say, "You look too round. It looks wrong. You need that, but you have a good head for it." Not everyone has the right head to rock a bald look, but if you still got your hair, rock it as long as you can.
Okay.
But if you start getting the Vegeta like widow's peak, you
Hmm.
probably just got to accept it because a skullet is not a good look.
I'll join the clubs, Sonny Strayed, Chris Sabat, you, Phil Parsons, a bunch of them. I'll literally, I'll feel good about that. That's not a bad club to join at all. Um,
Well, thank you. Yes. Okay, cool. Cool. I'll take that.
Heck yeah. All right. Well, we'll just do some quick fire questions to start things off. So just some questions that for fans to get to know you a little bit better. If that's okay.
Absolutely.
Perfect. What is your favorite type of music?
Mostly, I would say any derivation of rock. I am mostly a hard rock metal guy, but I like classic rock too. I love the new Metallica album. It's totally smokes. It's great, but I'm also a classic rock lover. You know, everything from Rush to Pink Floyd to Kiss. I love Tool. I love Nine Inch Nails. I love
Mm,
a wide variety. I love Lamb of God. Golly, occasionally I'll even like a pop song. It happens. I love orchestra, like orchestral soundtrack music. A lot of my vinyl I'm rocking in my collection here. I love a good soundtrack, but
mm.
mostly rock stuff and
Cool.
metal.
Awesome. And yeah, your background is so cool. I love it. On
Yeah.
air, Fatgum, Gohan. You got a bunch of really, really cool memorabilia. Have you got a room dedicated to it?
Not really a room, just a part of a nice bedroom area. So this is like my streaming thing, and my recording setup is actually my walk-in closet. So I have a Mac Studio and an ultra wide Samsung monitor here. So instead of two, most people just have two monitors. I've got one ultra wide. So I'm rocking that, and I do Twitch streams and all that. Hence the design on purpose of having a kind of a streaming setup back here.
I like it. Okay, I didn't know you did Twitch streams. How regularly do you do that?
I try to do once a week on Tuesday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, but sometimes I do nighttime here in North America. I'll do like directing of mobile games. And
Mm.
I'm not called upon every weeknight, but sometimes that does fall on a Tuesday, and then I just can't stream. And but when I do, it tends to be things like Fortnite or Call of Duty, and I mix in a mix of AMA. I play the latest episode of my podcast, just general chilling and all that. I'll play with subs. If you sub to the channel, Gohan with your own bad self. That's my channel name. If you sub there, you're eligible to join multiplayer games with me and have a Discord audio chat that's exclusive to subs and all that fun stuff.
You're making my day very busy, Kyle. I'm gonna do your podcast. I'm gonna jump on your Twitch. I'm gonna play Fortnite with
Awesome.
you. That's. I'm I'm not very good. I play on Nintendo Switch, which is hard, but
Dude, I'm the worst gamer. I love games, but I am a full-on button masher.
yeah.
I yeah, I'm terrible. I mostly play Fortnite for the sake of the fans or my
Mm.
mods. My mods are big players, so they get involved, and I'm just mostly bouncing around, getting killed, responding to the chat as their questions and comments go by, and I'm hardly even paying attention. It's like, oh, I killed someone. I did a thing. I'm on the winning team. Yeah. Other than that, though, I am obviously rocking the dad vibe thing. I don't know
Yeah.
what I'm doing. I'm trying to connect to the youth somehow.
Yeah.
That's kind of what my whole vibe is here.
That makes sense. Okay, that makes me feel better about myself. What what's your favorite food?
Favorite food? It's a toss up, man. I love me some pizza, but I could also have sushi. I mean, I could have either basically every day, but never sushi on pizza. That would be a bad combination.
I've never
But
tried it. That's not a bad idea. Have you tried that before? That might be a new.
no, I have not tried that, and I'm not tempted to.
Okay. What about pineapples on pizza? I'll just make that the third question.
Oh, sure, sure. I actually am okay with that. I actually do like pineapple on pizza. I know it's usually going with the Canadian bacon sort of vibe, but I like it fine. But honestly, my favorite topping is your good old standard pepperoni.
Mm,
I love, sausage or meatballs on there, onions, mushrooms. I'm not averse to anchovies. It's not a popular topping, but I like the salty sort of taste and jalapenos, a little dash of spice. Never hurt anybody.
beautiful. Really, really nice. Yeah, I'm the same. I'm the same. What's your favorite hobby?
Favorite hobby is just immersing myself in movies, pop culture. I love gaming, as I said before. I love movies, sci-fi genre type things. I'm a big Star Wars fan. There's Bo-Katan's helmet. I have Mando's in the other room. Love Mandalorian. I just finished the season today and Really, really amazing finale, by the
Mm-hmm.
way. Not
Mm-hmm.
to get into spoiler territory, but I've got tickets to go see Evil Dead Rise in a couple nights,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm a big Sam Raimi fan. I know he's just the producer. There's no Bruce Campbell this time, just a more straight ahead, fun gore fest, which I'm all about. Big horror fan. Um, yeah, I'm a 4K nut. I love high def. I
Mm-hmm.
collect steel books of a lot of movies. I've pre-ordered John Wick 4, which I love seeing in theater. It's like 3 hours, no problem, man. I'll never get enough of John Wick. I love
Heck
that
no.
stuff.
Cool. All right. That I can hear when you talk about it, you get excited, and that your passion comes across in what you're saying. So that's cool.
Yeah.
What's one of your favorite towns that you visited?
Towns. Well, I would say probably down let's see, Wellington in New
Ooh.
Zealand is amazing. Getting to see not only the beautiful, the mountains and the countryside and all that, but Weta Workshop. Getting to tour that as a guest of the conventions there, they kind of drove us to do a tour there to see a lot of the hands-on, props from Lord of the Rings or various a lot of it's all CG nowadays, but it's really cool to see an inside sort of scoop on a lot of movies that Weta's worked on over the
Mm.
years. But best hamburger I've ever had, little roadside shop. All the guests were on this tour bus going from I think Rotorua to Wellington or somewhere in between, and we stopped in the middle of the road, and it's like there's Mount Doom, there's basically what what, and then we went further and we stopped. Everyone said, okay, pit stop, we need to use the restroom, and there's a little tiny restaurant. It's like, let's grab something to eat. Best, oh my god, the quality of beef there in New Zealand, unreal.
That's good to hear. Do you remember the name of the restaurant? I'll tag them.
No,
No.
no, I do not. But I mean, the food there in general. I mean, when we
Mm.
were staying downtown, amazing, amazing. I love the people. I love the vibe. I New Zealand, man. I could live there. I could retire there.
Maybe you should because I sent Sunny straight a few properties because he's keen on moving to the South Island down here. So maybe we could have a little community, a little voice acting community.
I
Um,
like that. I
yeah,
like that. With
yeah.
my brethren, my peeps.
I was
This
gonna
is
say
good.
it'll be a bit cultish, but that's fine. We can
Only slightly creepy, but
as long as there's no suicide pacts, not a problem.
no, no, there's none of that. But yeah, we're cool. We do voices. This is the
Yeah,
way. This
anime
is the way.
anime nights. Okay, good, 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 good.
Sure, absolutely.
And final question. I think that's about 10. Probably was less or more, but dog or a cat person?
I'm definitely a dog person. My wife lives long distance from me, actually. She's close to her parents because they're older and they need a little assistance. And I stay here on the West Coast. And she has two little dogs, a Shishan and a like a poodle mix, and they're adorable. One boy, one girl. They have the same father, so they're pretty tight as siblings, and they're good. They're just cute as can be and sweet, and they're only 9 months old. I absolutely adore dogs. We've fostered puppies before, and you're just doing a good thing, helping out, even if you can't really full on adopt them. Doing the whole Patrick Stewart thing, it's
Mm,
like just helping a lovely little fur baby along.
that's special. No, we got four dogs, two French bulldog pugs and two greyhound hunterways, and yeah, they you can't I kick my wife out of the bed before I kick them out of the bed. It's that sort of thing.
They always say, pick your children first over your significant other. And it's like, I guess that's true, whether they're fur babies or actual babies. You get fiercely loyal and protective over them as they do you.
Yeah, heck yeah. Okay, so uh, what anime character do fans or anime characters? You've played so many. What do fans best know you for?
I think they best know me as adult Gohan, most recently from Dragon Ball Super Superhero,
Yep.
which was this amazing moment. It's not Gohan's movie by any means, but he does have a moment where you say, finally, finally, Gohan is great again. He's been squandered. He's been nerfed for 2 decades since I recorded the Majin Buu saga. He had that iconic moment leading up to, fight you? No, I want to kill you. Still a name, a line that gives fans chills. I
Hmm.
love saying it when I go to meet fans at cons. It stands the test of time, but so do the new ones, with the new form that Gohan has. Is that all you got? Okay, then guess it's my turn. I love getting to do that stuff. But Gohan was the start of my career back in 2000, and I'm still voicing him today. And it's led to everything else since then. Ryu's another impactful one on my life, too. Street Fighter,
Hmm.
because I'm an iconic character in an iconic franchise, and he got to be part of a Disney movie. He had a little cameo in Wreck It Ralph. And wow, I got that. That's a cool loophole. You have to be a celebrity or a movie star to be in these big Disney Pixar movies and whatnot. But the makers of that film were cool and understood their fan because they are gamers too. It's like, no, we're not going to just stunt cast Tom Cruise or someone in this. We're actually going to get the real guy. So they got Roger Craig Smith, who's currently the voice of Sonic. They got Ruben Langdon, who is Ken. They got me as Ryu. And I freaked out because I live in Burbank, California. I'm down the street from the Warner Brothers Tower. I can see it. And I'm
Mm.
5 minutes away from Disney Studios where they record all the features. And I went in there and I was geeking out. And they said, "Oh my God, the voice of Ryu is here." It's like, no, no, that's my job. I freaked out. It was so, so cool. And just one of those pivotal moments. And I've had such a high getting to do voice acting because I'm passionate about the craft. I'm passionate about the people I get to work with and getting to travel the world. It's opened up so many opportunities and everything. So it's hard to pick one. It's like
Mm.
picking your favorite dog in your case or your favorite child. And I'm just happy to work. What's your favorite role? The next one, because you're
Mm.
freelance. You don't know where your next paycheck's coming from. So I love getting a text, an email, a phone call saying, "We need you next Tuesday from 9 to 11." Like, yes, I'll be there. What am I doing? I don't care. If I'm an unnamed man A, demon B, cop C, or an episodic character or a main character. I almost never get main characters, but I do get to have so much fun, whether it's someone who's on screen for 2 seconds or for 2 episodes or a whole run.
That's definitely the attitude to have, and now you've got so many incredible fans around the world, and
Thank you.
Dragon Ball
Yes.
Z Superheroes is amazing. I really really loved it. I watched it with my daughter, and we both freaked out and absolutely adored it. I'm gonna geek out a little bit. Could you say for me, hello, this is Gohan, and welcome to the Anime Dad podcast.
This is Gohan from Dragon Ball Super, Superhero, and you're listening to the Anime Dad. I'll take two. Hi, this is Kyle Abear, better known as Gohan from Dragon Ball Super, Superhero, and you're watching the Anime Dad podcast.
Awesome, amazing, amazing, and obviously, I know you as well from next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Yes.
Could you say next time on the Anime Dad podcast?
Next time on the Anime Dad podcast.
Ooh, I always that voice is just so cool. I love it.
Oh, thank
We
you.
need a character. We need a character with that particular voice. But I remember, obviously, I'm rewatching Dragon Ball Z at the moment. But
Yeah.
that voice is just so iconic and cool.
Oh,
Um,
thank you.
it's such a cool voice to do, and like you've done such an incredible had such an incredible career so far and done so many cool things. How did it all begin, Carl? You've always probably had this cool voice, but how did voice
Oh,
acting begin for you?
it started with a dream. And I mean, quite literally, I was like 8 or 9 years old watching Looney Tunes with my dad on a Saturday morning, and he tells me that there's one guy that voiced all these characters. And that kind of planted a seed. It's like, that sounds like the coolest job in the world, getting to put voices to animation. And I wanted to do that. And I wanted to be a DJ on the radio. I wanted to introduce records and everything. So I used to take my turntable and a cassette recorder and put on my Kiss records or Queen or Aerosmith, and I'd pretend to introduce the song on my own little radio station. And I knew I wanted to do that when I grew up, and I knew I wanted to do cartoon voices. Back then, video games didn't talk; they were just beeps and boops. They weren't even Nintendo yet. I had an Atari. I'm
Hmm.
I'm almost 54, so I go way way back. Um, but yeah, I ended up getting a broadcast degree, radio, TV, film, Bachelor of Arts from University of North Texas. That led to an internship, which led to an on-air job working in radio on every kind of format, from top 40 to classic country to hard rock to Radio Disney. And I was at
Mm.
Radio Disney, a DJ on the air with Radio Disney from 1996 to 2005. And I went and I heard about open auditions with what was then called Funimation. Now they're Crunchyroll. Tried out for Dragon Ball Z, which I already was a fan of. I had seen it. It had been airing in the United States since 1995, and had the English dub, but it was produced in Canada, in Vancouver. And then in 1999, that dub, the whole production moved to Texas. And I heard about that and heard about the audition, went in, tried out for Teen Gohan. This is Gohan, not the one that fights Cell, but fast forward a few years, he goes to high school, he meets Videl, then he starts training, he goes into his great alter ego, the great Saiyaman. He trains to go mystic and all sorts of things and square off with Majin Buu, and the rest is history. But yeah, trying out for that, then landing various bit parts and doing all that. That was my first big thing, man. That was a huge break, getting to work on such a huge franchise right from the get-go. Something I was already a fan of and making a dream come true. I'm already getting to voice on cartoons. I've gotten to be on the air, on radio. And then come 2005, I decide to pivot and focus. I think I got the radio part out of me. I wanted to get and where all the cartoons were doing and all the big time productions in the big studios here on the West Coast in Los Angeles. So I picked up and moved out here in 2005. Been here ever since. And it's been a wild ride, and one that I will do until I can no longer speak. It's too much fun.
And you're still doing such incredible things, and I'm sure there's a lot of things you can't even talk about that are going to be released sometime soon that you're working on right now. That I'm sure,
Indeed.
yeah.
If you guys can see the shirt, it says, "Don't ask me. I signed an NDA."
I like it. Oh, that's cool. Do you just wear that around everywhere?
I do. I wear it all the time, man. I at cons, other actors crack up at it, fans crack up. It's like, it's perfect.
Yeah,
I
you,
board I board planes. I think I'm with the military or something. It's like, oh God, no, I'm just an actor.
that's really really cool. And your Dragon Ball Z crew, the other voice actors. Do you have good relationships with them still?
Oh yeah, yeah. We tend to see each other on the con circuit because everyone's busy with lives, wives, kids, and other gigs. So we tend to just follow each other on social media, and as most people do, just kind of keep track of people doing that, especially during the pandemic. Not as much socializing. But then again, I'm an introvert. I stay home and watch streaming shows all day and everything, and I tend to just kind of hang out, grab a bite to eat when I'm at a con with mutual colleagues, and we catch up that way.
Mm.
But yeah, I was at a show with Chris Sabat next to me. He directed me on Dragon Ball Z. He's Vegeta and Piccolo and many other characters. So his line was significantly longer and bigger, and so was Sean Schemmel's, who's Goku. And it's like their lines were ginormous, but I had bleed off from that as people would get their autographs. It's like, oh, let's get Gohan too. Got to catch them all.
Do you have you must, with your voice being is actually similar to Chris Sabat, a little bit in my untrained ear. Do you have a Chris Sabat impression you could do?
Well, he's kind of down here, just very that's kind of what he sounded like when he called me 2 weeks after my audition. I got the call that changed my life because it's like, we're going to hire you. We're going to have you come in and do some voices. Now, I wasn't hired to do Gohan then. I was the new guy. And since dubbing anime is a technical thing, you're acting and matching lip sync. They want to make sure, I guess. So they called me in, even though, that was kind of a new thing then. And there in Texas, they were just trying to hopefully just expand the talent pool. So I went in and did the bit parts on the Bardock special, some stuff in the filler arc after as the Cell saga was winding down. I was King Furry. I guess Cell is about to attack. The big bear kitty
Yeah,
looking leader. I was him on the television and addressing the citizens. I was a guy who fights against Bardock he was a horned guy. Bardock, just a couple of things.
that's awesome. That's
Um,
that's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm so I really just I'm standing here just geeking out that I'm talking to you. It's so cool. It's so cool
Oh,
to
thank you, man.
because so many of your cool voices have been a part of my life, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners leading up to the podcast, a lot of our listeners, were saying the same thing. And apologize for all the compliments, but it's true.
No,
You're a
no,
big part of
dude,
so many
it
people's
is.
lives.
It's so flattering, and that's the icing on the cake right there. Not only do I get to have fun and do something I love and make a living at it, I get to hear the stories from fans, how whether it's just something as simple as making them laugh or feel good, the escapist entertainment, to things truly just touching and jaw-dropping as making a difference in someone's life, whether they're depressed or dealing with awful life circumstances, and helping them through, just through an interpretation and a performance on something that resonates with people. Getting to hear that story time and time again, that will never get old. It is amazing. People from all ages, all walks of life,
Mm.
military, young, old, doesn't matter. I hear how Gohan or Ryu or Kamina from Gurren Lagann or some of my lesser known characters really helped inspire them in their career path. And it's not even just voice acting. It's like I opened a dojo, I teach this, or I'm a weight trainer, or I'm a police officer, or it helped me and my fellow friends as we're stationed over in Afghanistan. It's like that's unbelievable, man.
That's so true. The butterfly effect's amazing. You would have affected so many people, and a lot of people won't even communicate it because they're too nervous or shy. But yeah, you would have affected so many. That's such a that must be such a special feeling. Uh, Leading up to the episode, my brother, Gohan, your character is his favorite character of all time, and his
Awesome.
bedroom's ridiculous. Could you give Declan a quick shout out? Declan is his name. Declan, my brother.
Hey, Declan, it's Gohan from Dragon Ball. I've heard you've seen the show and all that. Just want to say thanks for watching Dragon Ball Z.
Oof, amazing. Good. He actually said to me, he said if you can get a shout out, that's amazing. I'm going to use it as my ringtone, so that'll be his new ringtone. So that's fantastic.
Ah,
No, no, thank you very much, Carl. It's great. Okay, well, a couple more things to do.
yeah.
So we've got a bit of an improv thing that we'll move into now.
Ooh.
A bit of improv,
Ooh.
and uh, Fat Gum's obviously one of your your characters. I love My Hero Academia, and Fat Gum is a great character, and he's also very different to who you normally voice. Before I looked it up,
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was you. How did you
Oh,
get
wow.
how did you get to that voice?
Well, Colleen Clinkenbeard, who voices Luffy in One Piece, she's also a very established director with a lot of Crunchyroll shows. She co-directed Full Metal Alchemist from the mid 2000s, and she's worked a tremendous actress and great director. She reached out to me and said, I've got a guy I want you to read for. I think you'd be a good fit for him. So I auditioned, and they said, yeah, this is great. I think we found a guy for you on this show. I saw what a huge splash it was making in the fan circles, and by the time he popped up, it's like, oh yeah, this is great. Now he is a side character, so not a lot of screen time, but impactful. When
Hmm.
I meet the fans, they say, rarely is the main character someone's favorite character. More often than not, it's the side ones or even the really small ones. They have little screen time, but they make a big impact. And the big lovable squishy dude, Fat Gum, or and he absorbs tons of punches and becomes what I call Fit Gum. Uh, that's another one of those iconic things, and all the feels when I hear people say that scene is so cool. The
Yeah, oh, it
what
is.
happened.
With Red Riot, it is so cool. Yeah, one of my favorites for sure. He's just taking those punches and then yeah, real manly scene.
Yeah, and then something silly from this past season, you booty incoming. Gotta love that.
That went around on Twitter for sure as well.
Oh yeah. That's what I've been signing a lot lately. On when I get a Fat Gum pop, I'll put booty incoming. Kylie Bear. So
I,
yeah.
I love it. Okay, well, I'll be Deku. I won't put on his voice because I can't. But you're Fat Gum, and you're teaching me how to
Okay.
welcome at a buffet. So, uh, hey, Fat Gum, I really need to, I really need to gain some muscle. Everyone's comparing me to All Might, and I can't get there. How do I do it?
Well, you need to eat because I like going around and asking, who wants candy? I think maybe you just need to stuff your guts. I'm a big growing boy. I think the best way to do it is just get all the calories, pack the calories in there, get nice and fat. I don't know why I'm named Fat Gum because I don't chew gum. I'm eating all the takoyaki. If anything, I should be Fat Takoyaki dude. But it is what it is. But Deku, I just want you to know I'm on your side. I'll be right there behind you because I will overshadow you because I'm so friggin' huge. But we could just say plus ultra together, right?
Yeah, let's do it. Ready? Plus
Plus ultra.
Ultra. Perfect. And I'd love to think that was great. That was perfect. I'd love to actually go inside Fat Guy, his little transportation device where he puts people in his stomach.
Yes,
That's a
the
freaking
fat
amazing.
taxi. You
Yeah.
forgot to pay for the fat taxi.
Such a cool, such a cool concept of a quirk and so creative. All right, the next one, Gohan. This is controversial. Gohan in therapy talking about Goku not giving Cell a sensu bean. So I'll be the therapist. Um,
Okay.
so go on. You've come to me for a reason, and you said there's quite a traumatic experience from your past. Could you please explain to me what that was?
Well, finding a big green dude who's not the Jolly Green Giant or the Hulk or any of those dudes, and he's got all these different forms. It's not even his final form. What's up with that? I don't even. I still have nightmares to this day, even though I got the ultimate takedown. I got to do the special beam cannon that fans still love. And then the older version of myself, because hey, multiverse and time travel is a thing totally in mass pop culture entertainment. I know one day I'm going to do that again and take out Cell Max. I can do that because I need to. I'm Gohan. I am, shh, don't tell anybody. I'm the most powerful character in the Dragon Ball universe. I'm only sharing that with you.
I thought, sorry, as your therapist, I thought Saiyaman was the most powerful. Just,
Well, I don't know. I am guardian of the city, protector of justice. Ah,
my goodness. All right, I've got confidentiality here. I won't tell anyone. That's perfect. Nice work, Kyle. That's great.
thank you.
And Saiyaman, yes, Saiyaman. I love that little side character of him, and just showing Gohan's silly, goofy side. It's just so cool.
Yes, yes. I love seeing that. I still see people cosplaying as and couples, Great Saiya Man and Great Saiya Girl, they're there. They're there. They're wearing the helmets and the detail to the costume is amazing. There's a lot more love than initially I would hear from fans saying, I hate Great Saiyan Man. Gohan's great, but that's just such a goofy waste of time. It's filler. I loved it. I loved getting to do it. I love still to this day getting, and signing autographs on the Great Saiyan Man pop, or even just the Otherworld tournament where he's wearing the Saiyan Man outfit but without the helmet, and he's like, "Want to see a Super Saiyan, or should I take it to the next level?" And it's like, yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, so cool. Another character that probably one of my favorite characters of all time as well is Escanor, and he is so cool. His pride, his voice is incredible. His power is insane. He is so cool. That would have been a cool character to play.
Oh yeah, and that one I actually did not have to audition for. I worked with the studio Bang Zoom for many years on many shows and games, so they knew what I was capable of. They've cast me many times, and they said, "All right, we're reaching out. We've got a really good character, a lot of stuff, good stuff to chew on." He's got two forms. At night, he's this quiet, timid, little shy, weak kind of dude, but he's powered by the sun. He is the sin of pride, the mighty Escanor. Who decided that?
So good. All right. Well, Escanor, you're on a first date with a girl, and obviously you're in your prideful form. So, oh, thanks so much for taking me to this restaurant. It looks really lovely. It looks expensive though.
It's okay. I've got plenty of money. However, I need you to do one thing. Apologize to me that you were born into my world.
Oh crap! I would have stopped it. That was amazing. That is too cool. What a cool line as well. They should throw that into the. Did he say that in the show? I forget.
Oh yeah, yeah. Sometimes I have to have a cheat sheet, and I'll just Google quotes, fill in the name quotes. There's so many good things in here. Oh my gosh.
That's cool.
Uh,
This Seven Deadly Sins is freaking amazing. That's great. That's great. No, thank you very much. You're very very good at improv, and your voices are so iconic and cool. Did you do much improv growing up?
Actually, no, I didn't really do improv until I was already working in the industry. I do it backwards. So I always tell people that want to get into any form of acting, become a good actor first, get training and experience, because it's not about doing silly voices. It's not about, I only want to do anime. It's like, have an open mind, because you will have so much more fun and you're going to become a better actor. You're going to learn things like improv and building characters and making informed decisions and being flexible to your director so you can try different things and work on versatility and diversity, so you can hone in on what you're best at. You don't have to be a jack of all trades. There are what are called utility actors that fill in a lot of the background characters. I get called in all the time as a utility actor. But, there are other people like Yuri Lowenthal, Johnny Young Bosch, who are great hero voices. And you get called to do that. So you don't have to worry about like, oh, I have to have the perfect hero voice. Like, don't worry. They'll worry about the people that are good at that. You find what's good for you. Is it going to be the best friend? Is it going to be a big thug, an evil guy? Who's it going to be? And
Mm.
that's the cool discovery process as you work with voice or acting coaches on Skype or Zoom or locally. You're going to go on this cool journey. And even if it doesn't end up working for you and you don't end up landing a bunch of auditions or getting a talent agent, it's still a fun experience, because I encourage everyone to at least try. It's better than having regret and wondering what if.
Very true, very true. And if you know of any South African, characters out there that have a natural South African take, you just give me a. You got my number now. You got my. Yeah, that's the accent I can do. So, yeah, flick me a message and I'll bring my South African ass wherever you need me. All right.
There you go. See, yeah, a lot of people think you have to be a master of accents and dialects. It's like that's not true. There are people that do excel at that. My British quickly becomes Australian, my Italian becomes French. So I don't get a lot of accent stuff, but I get more regional things. I could do Southern because I am from the South. I'm from Texas. So I mean, I can do that sort of thing. Or I could do a Brooklyn thing in New Jersey. You're like, I basically voiced Tony Danza in One Piece. He's
Yeah.
Capone Veggie. Hey, well, forget about it. It's basically that
Yes.
kind of character. So I lock into archetypes that I know through pop culture media, and I kind of try to put my own spin on, different actors,
And
things to try
and
to make it
and
your own.
Capone Beji also has that. He also puts people in his stomach, like Fatgum. My goodness, there's a theme.
Yeah,
There's a theme going on there.
there is a theme. He's a larger dude, and I love that his baby has a pacifier that looks like a cigar. I love that.
Yes, that is cool. No, I like him a lot. I've just finished that arc with the start of the introduction of a minute, and he's cool.
Good
Um,
deal.
no, well, thank you so much, Kyle, for coming on the
Absolutely, man.
podcast. Yeah, it's been a dream come true. And
Oh,
yeah,
it's
we
great,
love
man.
your work, and thank you for everything you've done in the community and in so many people's lives.
Hey, I love you guys. You make it possible. Thanks for reaching out, doing your podcast, and spreading the good word.
Thanks, Kyle.
Absolutely, man.